Today, New York State passes a bill banning Bitcoin mining for 2 years. Chipotle lets U.S. customers buy their next burrito with crypto. And software engineer Tim Bray explains why he thinks Congress should be far more critical of crypto. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Kate Rooney. It's another day of losses for crypto markets. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin had fallen below the $30,000 level yet again. Ether was worth around $1,700, and Avalanche fell to $22. Now let's catch you up on the top stories. First, the New York State Assembly just passed a bill that would put a 2-year moratorium on proof-of-work mining. If Governor Kathy Hochul signs the bill into law, mining operations that run on carbon-based power, such as coal-burning power plants, would be forced to shut down. Many in the industry have said the bill could lead talent out of New York State, and others say it could lead to more states following suit. You can read more about that bill, along with reaction from the industry and lawmakers, over at cnbc.com/cryptoworld. Next, Chipotle will let some customers buy their next burrito with crypto. The fast casual restaurant is partnering with digital payments company Flexa to accept Bitcoin, Ether, and other cryptocurrencies within the U.S. Chipotle is offering 10% off for customers who pay with crypto, and the restaurant brand is joining a host of others like Shake Shack who are exploring crypto payments and rewards. But it's important to note you still have to pay a tax for these crypto transactions. That can be upwards of 20%. Finally, CNBC spoke to a number of industry leaders at the World Economic Forum, and some think crypto could face a dot-com bubble-style collapse. Bertrand Perez, CEO of the Web3 Foundation, told CNBC that there are simply too many blockchains and tokens out there right now. FTX US CEO Brett Harrison said, "We likely won't have hundreds of networks in the future, but only a few clear winners." If you want to read what those experts are saying in full, head over to cnbc.com. Okay, for our main story, Crypto World's Mackenzie Sigalo spoke to Tim Bray. He's a software engineer who developed key internet infrastructure. He's worked at Amazon Web Services, and most recently, he co-wrote a letter to Congress asking lawmakers to be more critical of cryptocurrencies and blockchain networks. Mackenzie spoke to him about that letter and why he's skeptical of this technology.
So you co-wrote a letter to Congress this week asking them to take a more skeptical look at crypto. What is it that you think lawmakers are missing when it comes to the industry?
Well, I think that a lot of the stuff that's going on in crypto is a whole lot like the conventional financial system. You know, you get advertisements on the Super Bowl saying, hey, buy this, it's a good investment. And people buy it, and sometimes it's a good investment, sometimes it's a terrible investment. And in developed countries like the United States and Canada, where I live, we have a big investing community, and we have a rich, full-featured framework of regulation around it that is designed to prevent unsophisticated people from being ripped off and to ensure that disclosures are appropriate and the necessary transparency and auditing and so on is in place. And that is notably absent in the world of crypto. So I think the most important piece of the message is that when somebody is selling something that looks like a stock or a bond, it's a stock or a bond. The fact that it's based on blockchains and cryptographic checksums and so on doesn't make it not a stock or a bond. So I think we need a very conventional, ordinary set of regulation to be applied to the crypto sphere.
So very early this morning, we saw New York State pass a bill putting a 2-year ban on Bitcoin mining while exploring the environmental impact it has. The governor still has to sign it in order for it to turn into a law. But what's your reaction to that? And are you hoping that the U.S. will take a similarly tough stance on crypto?
Well, lots of different issues in play there. But from the environmentalist point of front, both Bitcoin and Ethereum, which between the two of them are the overwhelming majority of all crypto traffic, are environmental disasters. I forget which country it was. Was it Belgium or something like that? The amount of electricity going into Bitcoin and Ethereum is equivalent to that of a nation in the planet. And of course, we're working very hard to cut down our carbon usage to stave off the impending climate disaster. And that's a hard job. There's lots of little things to do. But one big thing you could do would be to dial back on cryptocurrency mining, which is an insanely huge consumer of electricity, some of which is produced in a green way, but a huge proportion of it is not. So I fully support that. That's quite separate from, that's the environmental grounds. That's quite separate from the regulatory grounds, but they're both real issues.
Right. So going back to some of your larger critiques of crypto, what do you think is wrong with this sector?
I think there are two big problems. The first is that the technology isn't very good. Um, what problem does it solve? Well, you buy something, the number go up, make money. Well, I don't think that's really a use case. And say, well, it's great for a payment instrument. No, it's not. The World Bitcoin Network can only do 7 transactions per second globally. Now they will come in and say, oh, we've got stuff to fix that. It's coming any day now. But at this point in time, both Bitcoin and Ethereum are unusably slow for global scale commerce. They also have the property that anything that's written to the blockchain can't be unwritten, which is attractive for some financial grounds, but is arguably illegal in the case of regulation like GDPR. So there are real problems with the technology, and probably not of great interest to this audience, but a lot of senior software people like myself just think this is lousy technology. But that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the culture of sleaze and rug pulls and NFTs and Ponzi's and so on that's built up around it. And unfortunately, it's hard to even have a conversation about, is this technology actually good? Because the community is so toxic and corrupt that, people just shouldn't engage with it.
Do you think that crypto lives up to its promises? Why or why not?
Well, we're not at the beginning. Crypto's been here for longer than a decade. I'm an old guy. I remember when the PC came in. I remember when the internet came in. I remember when cloud computing came in. I remember when, computational photography came in. And in every case, within a matter of months after this new thing arriving, people say, hey, I can do cool stuff with this. I can get stuff done. I'm going to adopt this and put it to work. So, 14, I think, is the number of years, but over a decade later, after the arrival of cryptocurrency, what problems is it solving? If it hasn't found the problems it exists to solve so far, I don't really see any reason to expect that it will.
Do you think crypto and blockchain networks solve the problem of digital ownership with things like NFTs and wallets?
Well, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I think ownership is a legal construct. And one of the things about ownership is that throughout the course of human history, there are frequently disputes about ownership. And once again, we have a legal framework to help us deal with those in a civilized way without taking out guns and shooting each other. And I don't think it would be a good idea to walk away from that.
How do you see all of this regulation around crypto playing out on Capitol Hill?
Oh, I think that in recent years, the FTC and the SEC and so on have improved quite a bit, and have been acting smart in certain ways. And I would expect that there will be, a gradual escalation of the application of conventional regulatory oversight to the crypto sphere. And, as I said, that OpenSea case may be one of the first steps down that road. One of the things we're going to discover is, can they do it with the existing legislation, or is new legislation going to be required? I kind of suspect it will, but, there's work to be done there. On the other hand, nobody, there's a real possibility of a big implosion in the crypto space. It may not be interesting anymore by the time the legislative wheels get around to really thinking about it.
Okay, a quick reminder, you can find that interview over at cnbc.com/cryptoworld. With that, you're all caught up for this week, but we'll be back again here on Monday with a lot more. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.